It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the New York Giants and the Cincinnati Bengals. All that and more coming up next.
With the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The kicker, Graham Gano, set to put his foot into this one. And we are underway from Cincinnati. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. And sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Another run for Brown on second down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
So on 4th down, Ryan Rico on to punt for the Bengals. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And I think that everyone is looking forward to seeing Drew Lock take the next step in the quarterback evolutionary process. Decision-making is something that he's working on improving because he's got plenty of arm and makes excellent off-platform throws. What he's seeking now? To be consistent in all of his processes.
Lock working out of the gun. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing now is Lock. That's complete to Slayton.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Here's Locke. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. They'll run here with a rookie. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7. Right back to Tracy. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's 3rd and 7. To throw it is Locke. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, a pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. They defer to Brown to start the drive. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. Big play from a big man, Kayvon Thibodeau, off the edge and dropping him behind the line.
Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A big play that time on the catch and run. 36 yards.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Right back to him for 10 more and a first.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Open man is Chase, complete. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
And Chase going to pick up a Bengals first down as he'll take this down to the 22-yard line. And Burrow going to throw again. That's to his tight end all. Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up second down. No score after one on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. From the 20, here's a 2nd and 8. As they've got it as we resume action. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he's got it. Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. An inside give, Brown. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Chase Brown taking it in from a yard out. And the Bengals post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. They look to throw. It's Locke. Catch made by Slayton. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Yeah, that's a good start to drive number 2. Remember, they had to punt the first time they had it. So maybe a little bit different sense of purpose here, and they start out with a nice gain and a quick first down.
Once again, he finds Slayton. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
They fake the handoff, now Locke. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Play action. Now it's Locke. Open man, that's Malik Neighbors. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
This is all about finding the open space in the middle of the field. How do you do that? One way is through play action. That's going to freeze those linebackers for just a split second, and sometimes that's all you need. They run a deep in route behind them, and it works to perfection.
Now a play fake, and here's Locke. Bellinger hauls it in out left side. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Now Locke. That one taken in by Neighbors. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Second down and 3. Now Locke on the bootleg. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Locke gonna throw. And they're gonna get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. The 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
Locke now to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a third down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
And that shot is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field. But defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a fourth down. Well played.
Gano's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Burrow looking to pass. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Second down and a yard. Now it's Burrow. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now it's Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So on fourth down, out is Ryan Rico to punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Giants offense set to begin this third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
They'll start with a run by Tracy. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
They'll go again with Tracy. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Shotgun snap to Locke. This one is Slayton over the middle. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the give, it's Tracy. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and a yard. Here's Locke. A short throw pulled in by Bellinger. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expecting to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
To throw it is Locke. That's complete to Slayton. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 27-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Locke. A short throw pulled in by Bellinger. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9. Here's Locke to throw. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what a sustained drive. And if they can keep stringing those together, you got to like their chances.
And credit the defense, though. You're out there for that long, you start to get tired, but they were able to get the turnover.
Did you just credit the defense?
I like to credit the defense and the offense.
I like you.
And the analysts.
That's perfect.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. Now Locke again. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
And Brian Dable with his background on offense, he's got a call ready, and they're going to go for it on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created a push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Up to the 20.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This is 2nd and 8. Now the give to Brown on the option. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A 3rd down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices,
We see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Burrow will throw. This will be caught by Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. To the air again, Burrow. Got a man open, it's Chase. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Open man is Yoshivas. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. Open man is Chase, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 14. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. To the sideline and incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football into places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
2nd and 10. Now Burrow. And he'll find Chase on the right side, complete. The great move couldn't free him. Taken down at the 10. That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's Burrow. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. It's T. Higgins with a touchdown pass from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. But that makes this a 2-score ball game. And, you know, the way this thing has been going, Charles, 2 scores kind of feels like 3 or 4 scores.
Yeah, it's a great observation. It's been a heck of a battle, hasn't it? And points have been at a premium throughout this game. So you have to wonder, is this going to be too much for them to overcome?
And McPherson on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it was T. Higgins who capped the drive with the touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. New York ready to go again offensively. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Locke. The short throw pulled in by Bellinger. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing now is Locke. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They look to throw. It's Locke. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
Again, they'll throw with Locke. The short throw pulled in by Bellinger. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 3. From midfield, here's Locke. That is caught, and he will have a Giants first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Locke looks to throw it again. That one taken in by Neighbors. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Giants.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. Locke now to throw. That's complete. It's Neighbors. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. They come up now on 2nd and 2. Here's Locke. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
Well, this crowd into it now. 3rd and 2. Now Locke. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case. Down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's 1st down. Locke. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
Locke to throw. And he comes back with one complete. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Locke. He's got his target. That's complete. There, the Giants are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They're going to try and run. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the Bengals hands team. And they're going to hang on and win this game. The risk reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Burrow down to a knee, and that should be the final act of this one.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.